What's up, music fans of the internet? I'm Kevin.
I'm Derek.
And together we are last week's album, bringing you two opinions on the best new music. And in this episode, we're talking about Morning World by Teen Daze and asking the big question, does this one wake your ears up or put them to sleep? But before we get into that, we'll kick things off like we tend to do, drinking a beer. Cheers, Derek, and everyone at home.
Cheers, Kevin, everyone at home.
And I will start with a little background on Teen Daze. This is the Vancouver-based artist Jamison. Much like Madonna or Prince, he just goes by that one name. Maybe it's first, maybe it's last, we don't know. This is his fourth LP, and he's effectively been a solo artist, sort of producer up until now. This is his first album where he's putting his vocals in the forefront. The first one where he's really worked with outside help, namely producer John Vanderslice, and the first album to really take advantage of the use of full band sounds, not just sort of electronic, sort of bedroom producer kind of stuff. So a lot of firsts here. And with that, let's talk about what it sounds like. Derek, what do you think?
Kevin, I think Morning World sounds like Sufjan Stevens, Death Cab for Cutie, and Bon Iver on a winter canoe ride. And don't worry, they're all wearing personal flotation devices.
Nice. I like that. I think this sounds like the Postal Service and Tycho taking a dawn stroll together. So there you go. If that gives you an idea what this sounds like. If not, we'll continue to talk about it with some key tracks. Derek, what are you going with?
I'm going with It Starts at the Water and Life in the Sea.
All right, I'm going with Morning World and Along, but why don't you start us off with It Starts at the Water, Derek?
Yeah, this one is really a fantastic, long, slow builder. It kind of kicks off with a barely there bass beat, floating vocal melody, rising piano riff, soft organ. In the set, after the first verse, this bass snare drum beat comes in, electric guitar, really kind of adds to the texture, building momentum. Lyrics use vivid images of nature and describing this dream-esque encounter with a lover in a picturesque landscape. Just for example, he says, I want to believe this is forever. We can see past the trees that go on forever. Actually, that it builds up to the peak and kind of repeats that line, and then kind of comes to this dramatic pause or just this severe break build down. As it comes to this abrupt end, it's just this little drum and lingering synth, and bass line carries it to a hushed end. So really just kind of the way the entire track built on itself and came to an ending just really caught my attention.
Nice. I'm going to start off with Morning World, which is the title track. And it's got these soft, echoing, jittery synths, some really gentle falsetto vocals, which you kind of hear throughout the album. Perfectly punchy drums, I would say. But later we get some whirring synth stabs, some tambourine hits, really chill electric guitar. And even later, we get layered vocals and subtle cello, adding just enough complexity to this track. And this really great line, he says, "Should I drift back into a dream?" Which I think is awesome. And it's what everyone thinks when they're waking up in the morning. Should I just drift back into a dream? I love that. So perfect. Tell us about Life in the Sea, Derek.
Kevin, I believe that's called the snooze button. But anyway, Life in the Sea, where there is no snooze button to be hit, tread water or die drowning, I suppose. This one features jangly guitars, lively drums. There's a very catchy instrumental melody, which starts off with piano before moving to very warm strings, and then a bright floating synth that kind of carries beneath layered vocals in the verse. There's a very lush extended musical phrase that occurs before rolling into the last chorus. And the lyrics are kind of a call to a lover requiring her to swim out to him. An example right off the bat, come to me in the sea. I can see you swimming to me. The water moves, the color change, the clarity dissolves in the rain. She can feel it, cover her. And this really made me wonder, what kind of girls does this guy date? Triathletes? Just wondering. Overall, I thought this created for a very engaging indie pop tune. And remember, just keep on swimming.
Nice. Next up, I have the track Along, which has these ambient echoing synth tones, sort of funky bass line, shimmery guitar, and what I think is a sort of finger-picked violin. We get these falsetto vocals singing in harmony with the violin, and a really good line. He says, "I am here to show you that you are not alone, so together we drop into the river, and it carries us along." At the last minute, it sort of chills way out into these jazzy drums, spacey synth, echoing guitar, and the overall vocal melody and structure give off some really strong Pink Floyd vibes, which I really enjoyed on this track. So let's talk about some lyrics. Derek, what's your pick for the best?
I'm actually taking one from my key track. It starts at the water, and he says, "I walk upon the shore, totally unsure of the landscape I have before me." I just really love that turn of phrase at the very beginning. It was fantastic, and just kind of set the stage for a lot of the other vivid imagery he used in the rest of the song there. So just really good.
Nice. Yeah. What I picked up on lyrically was that he sings a lot about nature and emotion and how the two sort of work together, which is really cool, almost sort of Henry David Thoreau-ish. And so for my best lyric, I'm going with one from Garden Grove. And he says, "I've come to watch the flowers as they grow, another chance to feel how little I know, and another morning spent not feeling alone." Just a really nice encapsulation there of nature and emotion. And with that, let's talk about overall rating and answering the big question: does this one wake your ears up or put them to sleep? Derek, start us off.
Kevin, to answer the question, I'm going to say neither. Instead, it puts my ears in the good space in between. And I think maybe overall, that kind of translates to good road tripping music, potentially. Good things, I really liked, I think we kind of alluded to this, having the backing band with Jamison there, I thought really kind of added a lot. Strings, piano, all over the place, I thought were, done very well. And I thought that's really highlighted in that one song, Postal, which we didn't even talk about, which just has this fantastic extended musical intro. Strings again in Life in the Sea, as I kind of mentioned earlier. I thought maybe some parts were a little indulgent potentially, but at the same time, this is the first time he's worked with a backing band. So I think, just kind of exploring that whole new realm of things, could be easily explained for that. Overall, I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5. I really kind of liked it.
Nice. I will agree and disagree here and there. On the pro side, I think this is a very warm and pastoral and inoffensive album. Really nice addition of strings and the backing band, like you mentioned, Derek. And I think he nails the album's theme of really appreciating beauty and nature. On the con side, it can be a little mushy at times, sometimes a little too lovey-dovey for me lyrically. The tracks tend to meander a bit, Derek. I think you nailed it when you said a little bit indulgent here and there. I think a few of these could definitely be shortened. And I don't think he takes very many risks. I know he's adding instruments and vocals, which is new for him. But to the sort of uninitiated Teen Daze listener, these aren't going to come across as necessarily shocking or new or innovative. So to answer the big question, does it wake your ears up or put them to sleep? I think it can do either, depending on your mood. It's lively enough to wake you up if you're enjoying a cup of coffee. It's also dreamy enough to help you fall asleep if you need some lullaby action. So depending on your mood, check this one out when you want to, whether you're waking up, falling asleep, driving down the road, as Derek mentioned. And don't forget.
Don't fall asleep while you're driving down the road.
Don't do those two at the same time. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to us here at Last Week's Album, where we're bringing you 2 opinions on the best new music. Don't forget to let us know what you think about Morning World by Teen Daze. And until next time, I'm Kevin.
I'm Derek.
Cheers, guys. See you next time.